All right, welcome to another episode of Cornbread Confession. As always, I'm Owen.
And this is Logan.
That's Cornbread Confession. You want to dab it up real quick?
Stab it up.
Yeah. Well, you want to talk about what we're going to, or you want to tell them what we're going to talk about today?
Yeah. So this episode's a little bit different than the previous. I'm here in a cast. We've got a good one for you. We're basically wanting to go over a little bit of, I guess, what happened, our weekend shenanigans, and what have we been up to. So, what about you, Owen? Anything else that you want to hit on this one?
Yeah, we'll play it by ear and we'll just kind of go
Go with the flow.
just go with the flow. You know what I'm saying, man? But as you can tell, I mean, we're on a porch, so we was gonna try to be at a different location every time and kind of give our audience a good background and whatnot. So that's kind of why I'm gonna throw that out there. You know, why we would be on a porch today.
Yeah.
We're at Logan's house, so because, well,
Yeah, this is like my home I grew up in house, and so like we're here now, just for the logistics of things, honestly. But like it doesn't make for too bad of a backdrop. I grew
no.
up here. I mean, I've been here since I guess I was 7, and and grew up like when I was really little. Me and Owen both right over here in this house. We used to watch cars go by all the time, and tractors and whatnot. So like. It was a good place to grow up, so.
I ain't been here in a long time, and
Yeah,
like I was telling you, I mean, shoot, I'm gonna have to replace the shocks on my truck. I mean, the daggone, I forgot how bad the roads are coming over here. I mean, I was all over the place.
Beat you to death.
Sure enough, I might have to put new shocks on my truck. Daggone. But I guess we'll get into to what we're gonna talk about. So, over about 3 weeks ago. Little story time.
Yeah.
About 3 weeks ago, I have a Jeep, and I had a bunch of buddies that we was gonna all get together and go to the Halloween ride up at Wheeling in the Country. And my cousin Logan here, I thought it'd be a great time for him to come up and hang out. He ain't never done nothing like that before, so it was his first time doing it. And also, we was gonna do a podcast while we was up there, but we didn't quite make it to that. we had a lot of fun, and he got to see a lot of new things that he ain't never, like I said, been around. And we was rock crawling and whatnot. Wheeling in the Country, for who ever don't know, it's a big riding park. You can carry ATVs or whatever you want to ride trails and whatnot, and it's a lot of fun. But yeah, we was going up a trail. We was actually going down a trail, and just casually. And I don't know. I guess I was distracted, and we rolled my Jeep over, and it just happened to roll over. I didn't have the doors and the top on it, and Logan's foot got caught on the Jeep as it was rolling. So we broke his foot, and so that was very unfortunate.
Yeah.
But we've been recovering from that. So, is there anything you want to throw in?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna take it back to so I remember when Owen first was calling me, he's like, "Man, you got to come on. Like, we're leaving. We're gonna be about Thursday night. We're gonna be there from Thursday night till Saturday night, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty well.
And so he was like, "You got to come." I was like, "Man, I'm like working, Thursday, Friday, and stuff. I'll see if I can come up, Saturday." And so I decided, I was like, about Saturday 1 o'clock, I'd get there. And so I showed up about Saturday 1 o'clock, for this ride and everything. And I guess to give a little context, so this is up in Summertown, Tennessee. It's about an hour and a half away from where I was up in Huntsville. So it was not near as bad a drive as what it was for Owen and his group. They was, it was about two and a half hours, I guess, probably.
Yeah,
it was a legit trip, but Wheeling in the Country is out kind of in that general area, and it's like 1,200 acres of trails and stuff you can ride. I mean, it's a really cool place. And so me and Owens always grew up, riding and everything. So that was definitely kind of like right up our alley and everything. So it was just kind of like a cool time to kind of get back together on that kind of stuff. And He was going to, show me what that Jeep could really do,
Mm-hmm.
So, but now when we got out there and everything, we rode around for hours. It was, about 1 o'clock. We pretty well just got right in on it and everything, and we were out on the trails and stuff. Um, for most of the time, maybe took one break coming into the camp or whatnot, but after that, um, we rode around and did some stuff that even seemed like it was a little edgy and stuff like that, but it wasn't anything really bad. Um, we and plus we was in a Jeep, so we wasn't doing stuff that, like you'd be getting in like a dirt bike, just weird,
Yeah, yeah.
tight stuff. It wasn't anything crazy.
Well, it was trails that for the most part people had already been going up and down with their Jeep, so you
Yeah,
could do it.
and they're legit built,
Yeah,
like built trails. This
built
is not
for them.
like
Yeah,
some just
it ain't somebody's
run.
backyard or
Yeah,
something.
this is
This
like
is yeah,
1,200 acres of like they've literally excavated and cut these trails and
yeah.
like built them like a course. So it's kind of it's definitely a lot more than just what you do riding around here and that kind of thing. And so
Hmm.
that was kind of the allure to it in and of itself. But like, so the crazy thing was the the it started kind of getting dark and everything about 6:30, and I was hammering out. And I was like, man, I got to get back and stuff. I got to get back, for in the morning and all. And he was like, oh well, I guess I'll take you back and everything. And we decided to kind of go back. And on that trail that we went back on, it's it's really just like a going back trail. It's not anything, nothing fancy. It was
Yeah,
really just
more or
flat
less.
as it can be.
Yeah,
It was,
more or less one of the main trails.
yeah, just a
Just
main
nothing
wide
hard about it
trail.
or anything.
Wasn't anything. There's no weird ruts in it or nothing crazy. If you saw it, you'd be like, it might as well just be a road.
Yeah,
But
basically, you could drive a car up it if you really wanted to.
yeah, it wasn't. There wasn't much of a slope. I mean, it was slightly going downhill a little bit. So I mean, like you would probably roll if you was on, but I mean, it wasn't. It wasn't hardly a grade. I mean, and so, but the thing is, the key thing to know about his Jeep is so it's set on like a crawler mode, and we were setting it on that crawling mode. That was one thing Owen said going in. Was like, listen, I'm not going fast in this thing. If we're gonna go up something, we're just gonna crawl it, and if it don't crawl it, then what, like that's it. We're not gonna gas it and do
Hmm.
anything crazy. And Owen held his word on that. And so what it was, I think the crawling on that Jeep was so good
Yeah,
that it actually the way that trail was cut, it was that there were these banks up on the side of each of each side of the trail. So when we come up on it, I'm in the passenger seat, he's driving, and we come up on it, and all of a sudden because his Jeep's got a wider stance and everything, it gets caught on one side of that embankment and everything, where the trail's cut in, and so this thing starts to crawling up that, and that crawling kicks in,
yeah.
and it's like legit crawling it and everything. And
Hmm.
normally a normal car does not go up that.
No,
Like
it wouldn't.
I don't think a four wheeler would have went up that.
Probably
But
not.
it went up it and it caught it and everything. And that, of course, that tire's wide enough it can get some traction stuff going up
Hmm.
that. So it's kind of the perfect storm for it to start to come up, and it comes up. And I look up, and that the whole way I see Owen and the Jeep and everything's coming towards me.
Yeah.
So I had nothing but the ground, and then me looking at all the weight at me. I was like, it was all coming towards me. And the real mystery that everybody wonders is like, all right, so like, there's no doors on this thing, and everybody says you keep your hands and your feet inside, and like I did, as you can tell, I kept most everything
Yeah.
inside. But what's weird is like, so the door is right here, so it's kind of like, how does your left foot get there? But my right and my whole right side of my body's fine. Like I'm totally good. Other than that, and so what happened, I think, was when it come over, I actually saw this moment when it rolled over and everything. Somehow my left foot had got caught over that way during the roll of everything. I guess just the weight of everything kind of going this way.
Hmm.
And I don't think Owen bumped me or anything like that. It may have been just stuff, but stuff was kind of the whole weight of everything that we had in there, cooler and everything, was coming towards me. So we, had my foot coming in, and it got caught right at the kind of the top of the frame of the door on his Jeep, and I kind of watched it go right over and slowly kind of roll over my foot, and it felt in the moment like a bruise or whatever. I was like, dang, that's a rough bruise.
Yeah.
And so like when it happened and everything, I was like, oh shoot, that's pretty rough. But of course when we rolled over, I was like, Owen, are you all right or whatever? He's like kind of locked in on his steering wheel. He's legit locked in.
Oh yeah.
And
I was locked in so good. I had my knees up under the steering wheel and was holding it in the bottom of it. And we was hanging upside. I was hanging upside down, and Logan had already crawled out, and he was hollering at me from good. And I'm just like,
yeah,
we done rolling? Cause I'm gonna let go if we're done
yeah,
rolling.
cause I was scared. I thought Owen was like in shock or something. And I was like, dude, you all right or whatever? That was the first thing I was making sure
I wasn't gonna let myself go anywhere.
we got over and everything, and so of course I get out and everything, and I still see him in there. I was like, oh, you need me to like pull you out? Are you stuck or what's going on? And he was like, no, I'm gonna get out. And then he kind of he was able to get out and then walk out and everything. And I was gonna walk in behind him. As soon as I stepped on that foot, I was like, whoa, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
And so I pretty well I sat my butt on the ground and was like, oh, we got to call for help. And so one of the key pieces to this too is there is no phone service on all 1,200 acres of this property, and like probably 5 miles of the road leading into this place. There's no phone service whatsoever. So there's no internet, no phone service. There's no way of getting in contact with anybody. But we had radios with us, and so we were able to radio. A lot of people was in our group to come by and everything. For context though, we're now rolled over and there's no light down here, and it's just kind of we're in somewhat of the downhill or whatnot. The next kind of thing we had to watch out for was like, somebody could come up on us and stuff like that. So I was in my head thinking, well, let me slide out of the way of the trail in case somebody starts coming down here fast and everything. I'm gonna get a flashlight out, and I started to wave my phone around and stuff with a flashlight, and I was like, you better stay by this Jeep or whatnot. And I was like, dude, I'm getting up here to the where I could wave, because he didn't know it, but we were really close still to the field where we had just come from. We weren't that far, so I was trying to slide my way up. My foot broke. I didn't know it was really broke at that time. Couldn't really tell, but slid my way up, and with a flashlight was able to kind of finally wave some people down that started to drive by. And by a few minutes in, we had got a we'd got a group around us over there, kind of checking in on us and stuff. There's a lot of good Samaritans that came by and was like legit willing to help. And so all I remember is Owen coming checking in. It was like, man, you think you sprang it, or did you think you broke it? I mean, nobody could really tell because I'm in a boot. I'm just in my boots and jeans, so like you can't see nothing. But like, and in the moment with like a lot of the adrenaline and stuff, I don't know that I just didn't really feel much of the pain and everything, but I didn't realize it. But like legit, the full weight of that Jeep landed and rolled, pinned right on to my foot, and all 5 metatarsal bones in my foot had broken in that moment. So I didn't really realize that. I didn't realize that the biggest bone too was one of the worst broken one until we got an X-ray and everything. But anyway, so yeah, we ended up. I ended up kind of getting. They ended up taking me back so Owen could deal with the Jeep and everything, because he's got his Jeep rolled over here in the dark, and he's trying to figure out how in the crap he's even gonna get this thing out of here. This is the first time you said you'd been to this place, right?
Yeah, that's the first time I've been to this place. I've been to other riding parks, but not this one.
Yeah.
But it's all kind of the same in its own way, just as far as the riding goes. But yeah, we got it rolled over, and the bad thing was, on top of Logan, I was worried about him and everything, and I was like, well, I got to get this Jeep out of the way, and because I don't, you don't want somebody coming down and not knowing that it's there and already having that momentum and not being able to stop and hitting, and then you got there, and then you got yours, and then it's a big, even bigger problem. So the sad thing was, as far as my Jeep goes, when it rolled over, it had the roll cage on it. It was perfectly fine. Nothing was even broke. Nothing. I mean, the windshield was completely intact, no crack, no nothing. You know, we couldn't roll it over because like Logan was saying earlier, the embankments was so tall, you couldn't roll it to one side or the other because you didn't have enough room. And so what we ended up having to do is we had to hook it to somebody's truck, and they had to pull it all the way down the trail on its upside down on its top. I had to pull it all the way upside down on its top down to the flat part so we could roll it over. And so that really did a lot of damage. So I'm slowly rebuilding that as Logan's rebuilding his foot. So we're kind of in a race with each other right now. I'm trying to get my Jeep back rebuilt before he gets
Before I get rebuilt.
Before he gets rebuilt. But yeah. Well, I mean,
I know you might beat me though, because it
I
sounds
might-
like
I
you
don't
already
know.
on track too.
Shoot, man, I
That
had some
Jeep,
parts.
shoot.
I had some parts come in, and I've been putting them in yesterday and whatnot, and I put it in yesterday. I drove my Jeep around, and turns out I found two more things I got to replace on it. So
Oh, really?
yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of getting into a money pit. So
That's what they found out when they got into mine. They found out I got
a little more
another
problems
place.
than you thought.
Yeah, another place I got to replace.
Yeah, right.
No.
Oh man, but let's give an overall review on it though. I mean, what do you think about Wheeling in the Country? Would you go back?
Dude, it sounds crazy. I would actually go back. Now, I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, we learned some lessons.
Yeah,
Stuff,
sure.
ways we do it right, ways we do it wrong, that kind of thing. I think I learned a lot out of it. But I mean, I personally was all for it. I know most would think I'm crazy saying that coming out of it, but I grew up with a lot of that stuff. I've liked it. If you do it right, you don't end up with stuff like this going
Right.
on. That's just kind of that's so there. There was so many people there. I was probably one of the only people that even got hurt that whole time I was there.
Probably.
You know what I mean? So it's
But
kind of like,
But then you got that, and then there's also, when you got a big ride like that, like it was the big Halloween ride. They have two big rides a year: the Halloween ride and the New Year's ride. And so, that was the big ride. There was a bunch of people there, and I'm not saying we was on people that flip. Not saying we was on people that got hurt. But what I am saying is, when you got that many people, you're bound to have at least one person. You'd say there's 1,200 people there.
yeah, that's a good
One
bit.
person at least will get hurt. I think he was the unlucky person
Yeah,
that day.
it's just like I said,
Unfortunately.
it's just a freak accident and stuff. You just kind of, I just don't like to let stuff like that mentally get in the way of your life. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like some people get this kind of stuff and then they just kind of let that, stop them and stuff like that. And I just don't look at it like that. It's like, what was the causes? What could you have done differently and stuff like that? Learn from it.
Yeah.
And that's just what you got to be about it. Just with anything. And so that's kind of the way I took it. Because after it happened and everything, part of what I learned too was, like how big a deal communication was. When that happened, me and Owen, was saying, well, let me just go back to the camp because I didn't know how bad this foot was. And so, like, Owen was like, well, yeah, I'll meet you at the camp. And of course, it's important what we tell each other in that moment because there's no phone service, there's no nothing, there's no like changing your mind. If I told him that, that's where I got to be, if he's going to find me because he's trying to do his Jeep and all this kind of stuff. And we don't know how bad my foot is. Well, when there's a group of really good people that was up there. They just so happened to actually be from Alabama, and they actually ended up taking me back in this like really nice Razor
Yeah.
that they had.
Shout out to them, by the way. We don't know who you are, but
Yeah, man, true shout out. So like they took me back to the main camp and everything, and I showed them kind of where my truck was and all that. and I wasn't in any real way fit to drive or anything like that. I didn't feel like driving or anything, but you know, I told them, well, they said they was gonna kind of come back to the camp and everything. That's what I'm gonna do. Well, I told them to kind of lay me up, and basically the camper shell that Owen had there and stuff, and I wasn't planning on staying the night or what. He was offering for me to stay the night, but and I didn't have any intention, but that's what I ended up doing.
Yeah.
So I ended up. I guess he wanted to make sure I stayed the night. So but now so I ended up getting in, and we we ended up kind of propping me up in there, and I started kind of 2 hours went by, 3 hours went by, and they wasn't here, and I was like, oh shoot, this foot's starting to hurt. I don't know if this is like a
Adrenaline's
sprain.
not wearing off.
I was like, I don't know what this is. I was starting to like grunt and all this kind of stuff. And there's nobody like around by this point, because I mean, obviously they were like, all right, well, I mean, we've got to go. If you need anything, like holler at us. But there's no phone service or nothing, so you can't.
Yeah.
So I was telling them that they should be on their way or whatever. So, well, I didn't really know it, but they were really still dealing with that for another 3 or 4 hours, and it wasn't until about this happened. It actually happened at 6:30, and it wasn't until about 10, 11 o'clock when Owen actually, showed back up and everything. Everybody was back in camp, and when they showed up, they were like, "Logan, why are you still here? We thought you was at the ER or whatever." And I was like, "No, I mean, we said we was going to, meet up here at the camp, so I want to make sure, like, everybody knew where everybody was at, and I was going to be here at the camp and everything." So I get to the camp, and we start to kind of take it all, to kind of assess the damage here and see what's going on. And so I luckily had a steel toe boot on or whatnot.
Could have been a lot worse if you didn't.
Yeah.
There ain't no telling,
Yeah, oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. It was actually kind of a good thing, I think, that I had that steel toe boot on. It probably prevented some other stuff happening, because my toes was good, and everything. And like, what we did was, what's his name? Gave me his box cutter knife, or one of y'all did.
Oh, Bert.
Yeah, Bert gave me his box cutter knife, and I started to go down through there with my boot. And I started to kind of cut. I had to be real careful because my foot had started to swell up, and we couldn't just take that boot off.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go down through there, and I mean, every little bit try to cut my boot off. And funny enough, we in an episode just prior to this one was standing in a creek and talking about these boots.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny. Here I am like cutting them off. And so I get down through there, and I get it completely cut off, and Owen looks at me and is like, "You know what I'm going to have to do, right?" And I said, "Yeah, this is as far as it's going to go." And so we ended up taking it off. And
quick little pull.
Just one little pull.
You know.
And we ended up getting that thing off of there.
One of them bite a little wooden spoon episode. You ever seen that on them old movies, bite a spoon and they
bite
do
a rag
surgery or
and
something? Yeah. That was one of them times.
Yeah, it was one of them. So then we ended up getting that boot off or whatnot, and everything. It was completely cut up. We had to, and like, it was kind of scary too, because like at one point, like, if I was to go the wrong way with that knife, it was going right into where the swelling was.
Yeah,
so I could have that sucker could have exploded for all I know. I don't know. But anyways, I was able to get it off and everything. And this thing, I mean, absolutely looked like a football. And like my foot up next to the other, it was like hilarious, just the difference. But they were looking at it and they were like, "Yeah, we think you broke it."
Yeah. Yeah.
So they was like, "Yeah, we think that was a little more than a sprain." It was rough around the ankle and all that, and then obviously like really bad up top and below. And what I didn't know was that the bone was actually right next to the skin, and we think that it actually came out of my skin on both the top and the bottom and stuff like that. It actually came through. It might have been when I was trying to step and walk that first time that it really tried to protrude through and stuff. But because all your bones are really close to your skin down there and stuff, that's like way more susceptible to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, so that's kind of what happened. We were like, "Yeah, that's a broke foot."
Yeah,
and so
that's a broke foot.
and we really didn't even know then until you know, the next morning we end up going to the ER and everything.
Yep.
And you know, I'm kind of still holding out. Maybe it's, you know, maybe it really is a bad sprain, because Owen, you know, said he's had a bad sprain before that legit
Yeah.
felt like a broken foot,
Yeah.
right?
I played basketball and had a bad ankle sprain, and it swelled up the size of a softball on my ankle.
Yeah.
And you know, I thought that I broke my foot, but I was walking on it, you know, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna. I think I just sprained it real bad. That's what a couple people that was playing basketball told me too. They was like, you just sprained it real bad. You know, it ain't that big a deal. And I'm like, well, you know, okay, well, but I put up with it, and it finally, I mean, it was probably 4 months, 5 months until the swelling all actually finally went away. It was, it was, it was It was pretty bad, you know.
For, yeah.
It stayed looking like a. It got down to a golf ball size swell, and then it just stayed like there was just a knot on the side of my foot, and it finally all just went away. So,
How long was like the recovery from that? Like, was you able to? You said you were still able to walk on it, but like,
yeah,
when did
it
it get
hurt.
back to normal?
Oh, it hurt real bad. I mean, this was Thursday. I didn't go to work the next day on Friday, and I stayed off of that weekend, and that Monday I just put up with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
And then,
that next Monday I just put up with it when just.
so about a week or two in, and you was pretty well like back
No,
on
it
it.
was hurting real bad. I shouldn't have even been walking on it, but I mean, I just made
What do you
myself.
think a doctor would have told you if they'd have told you, like, would they have made you like not be on it for
Yeah,
2 weeks or something, or
probably.
like?
Yeah,
I
probably
got you.
so. Yeah, but you know,
Yeah.
just what I was doing at that time. I had to be on my feet, and that's the only way I was making money. So I had to do what I had to do. But I don't know. Heck.
Yeah. That's,
This is Logan's first time ever breaking anything.
it
So
is. Yeah, that's first.
so what do
First
you
bar
feel
ever.
about that? You know, do you feel like a little more manly and stuff? You know, do you feel
Oh, I
like
got a chip on my shoulder now.
yeah, you kind of
Yeah.
you know
I'm part of
the
the
girls
club
like
now.
it. You know, you ever send a picture of your foot to the girls
Yeah,
or
man,
anything, and what do they think
that's
about
the
it? You know,
play now.
yeah.
Well, now that's the problem though. Is like now I can't even do anything about it.
Well, hey,
Like,
Nate, you know, once you get
it's like
recovered,
Christmas time.
yeah, once you get recovered, man, you'll be able to go out and yeah, they'll know you broke something by the way you carry yourself. You'll be having that little
The old limp.
little crutch
Dude,
limp, you
I
know.
hope I don't walk like
Little
too stupid by the time this is over with. I really don't.
You'll have that little old little swagger about yourself.
People
Yeah,
say
I broke something every time you take a
shit.
step. Shoot.
People used to say I'd like when I'd walk, I like I was 2-step dancing or
Yeah.
whatever. Some people said I had like a stroll to
Shoot.
me or something. So I don't know
Well,
how
it might
my
have
stroll
fixed
was
it
changing.
then.
Yeah, it might. Yeah, it
It
might.
might
I
just
might
fix
actually
it.
walk normal now.
Shoot.
I don't.
I remember when I used to break something. You know, I ain't never broke anything out of high school or out of school, but I used to break something. You know, and then I'd go to school and I'd let all the girls sign my cast and everything.
Man,
You know,
yeah.
them guys, they'd be trying. Let me sign. No, dude. No, dude. I gotta have room for the ladies on here, man. You're crazy. You're not signing this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, it's a chick magnet, man. They think you're tough now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Got some battle scars.
Oh
Huh?
yeah.
Is that what it is?
Oh yeah. Them girls gonna think you're tough now, for sure. They're gonna something manly. You know, they're gonna say. They're gonna say he's a manly man right there. He's done breaking stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I don't know. It's like I said. It's gonna be a time. Like it's got its goods and bads and stuff like that. Like I hadn't been this home this long in a long time.
Yeah,
And
you
stuff like
didn't catch
that.
up with everybody.
Yeah, it's good to catch up. I noticed with my family and everything because
Mm-hmm.
it's like legit has been a while and stuff. Because I'll go like a month in between seeing family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of I mean, in a way that's a really good thing. I know what it is like so. 2 weeks in, it was when I had to wait about 2 weeks before having surgery. I've still got my surgery stuff on, but I've finally got to the point where I can have surgery and stuff. There was like fracture blisters and stuff that was coming up real bad and all that because they're like rare and all this stuff. Anyways, but after that, they told me that it would be 6 weeks after that surgery. But he got in that surgery and was like, I'm gonna have to do another surgery because he said that your foot has collapsed, like it's collapsed. So I've got now that 6 weeks till after this surgery is kind of healed, and then I got another 6 weeks after that. So total time will be about 12 weeks. The incident happening, right around Halloween, so October, and then I will be, I think, basically back on my figure of where I can put weight on it mid-February. So I'll be a cripple for Christmas,
Yeah.
but it'll be a good time. It's if any timing's gonna happen where you're kind of stuck inside the house or whatnot.
Yeah.
I guess it might as well be winter.
You get caught up, but like that's why I was kind of telling you. I was like, I'm gonna end up, I'm probably gonna break something, just to get the pampering you've been getting.
Oh, really? Yeah. Get the mama treatment.
Getting the mama treatment. I've been on the phone with him, and he's like, yeah, Mama's over here. She's cooking food for me. I'm
Yeah,
like,
still
dude, I'm
cooking
about
me
to
some
break
soup.
something. I'm about to break something right now, dude. I'm over here. I'm over here having to go to work every day, and you're over here getting pampered by Mama.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'm about to break something. I'm better get this treatment,
I'll tell you what.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, I've been telling everybody. Everybody's been real supportive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
No, it's nice. It's definitely a nice change for that side of it.
Yeah.
I can tell you that right
Shoot.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, daggone. I wonder if females do look at that, like something broke on somebody, and they're just kind of like, you know.
Oh, I think
Not
the
really like
instincts
a-
come out where they want to take care of you and everything.
You think that's what it is?
Well,
You
I
think
look
it's
at
a
like my
manly
own
thing?
mother and stuff like that, and I
Yeah.
hate it too, like for her, because she keeps like really busy and stuff.
Yeah.
I try my best to do everything I can for her, but obviously, like it's hard to do that when.
Well,
Yeah.
I wasn't going that route with it. I was
But-
just, just. I
But
was-
you just talking about
I was talking about just, your typical female. I was talking about your mother. Obviously, that she's gonna be like that.
yeah,
She,
yeah,
Man, I'll tell you what.
mother, mama.
Man, here recently, man. Speaking of like manly stuff, man. I don't know if you think this way or not, but like the other day, dude, I went into the McDonald's and I was over there in Augusta, Georgia. But it don't really matter where you're at. It's just kind of like yourself knowing this. Like, man, I went into McDonald's, dude, and I'd been up all night working and whatnot, and I ain't really had anything yet. So I was kind of wanting breakfast, and it was basically lunchtime already. And man, I went into McDonald's over there, and there was a bunch of blue collared people, around in there, and like I said, it's kind of like a manlier story, a bunch of blue collar people, and they all just hanging out, and they're about to eat lunch and whatnot, and I'm kind of standing by one, just kind of just talking, kind of shooting the crap with them, whatever, Well, and I order on the kiosk, okay?
Mhm.
So like I'm not actually talking to the lady,
Yeah.
and so I get an iced coffee, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sitting here going, man, I hope nobody sees that I got an iced coffee, because that ain't really manly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of just thinking to myself, I'm like, man,
I went over here with his iced latte.
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, man, I'm over here doing blue collar stuff, but I'm drinking iced coffee. That I'm like, man, that's just weird. So I'm sitting here, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, man, I hope nobody sees me get this. And she comes up to the counter, and she's like, order number 65. I go up to her. I get my food. I'm like, hey, you got my drink? She's like, what'd you have? And I'm like,
I look around.
iced coffee. I had iced coffee. She's like, oh, you did? Okay. I'm like, God, I'm like, man. And so she goes and she makes it. She comes back, and I'm back over there just kind of like trying not to be red faced, sitting there, and just kind of all these blue collar people just kind of sitting around. They're just kind of, I don't think they really heard me, Then I'm just kind of sitting there, and she comes up, and puts it on the counter. Iced coffee, like saying, "That's iced coffee," and I'm sitting there going,
Man's gonna pick that
I'm
up.
like, who got that? It's lunchtime. Who got that? And then she says it again. I'm like, man, just sit there and leave, man. And so she keeps on. iced coffee, and then she looks at me and she holds it out to me. I'm like, hmm. So I had to go. I went over there and got my little iced coffee and just kind of didn't, kind of kept my head down, sitting there looking at anybody. I figured, uh, I like to joke with people, and if I see somebody doing that, I'm more than likely I'm gonna pick on you a little bit for it, but but I was just waiting on somebody to say something. Oh yeah, that's real manly getting iced coffee or whatnot.
Yeah, I was wondering what I'm
Yeah,
didn't.
no, it's the same way, man. I like with just it's even worse. Like I don't know if you get this way about certain things, man, but like sharecroppers right there, man.
No, yeah, coffee. Yeah.
Yeah, like I like a good coffee, and it's just from I guess maybe a blue collar perspective, or just like I don't know, it's just not manly to drink anything else besides black coffee. I mean, have you
It's
not?
like Black Rifle coffee.
Right,
Like
it's
you
like,
got it. Yeah.
oh, I drink black coffee. Look
Yeah.
at my chest hair. You got soft hands,
You
boy.
got the real stuff.
Like
You got
that
the
kind
real
of stuff.
bean.
I work 80 hours a day. Anyway, and so I go in, even like sharecroppers, man. I go into sharecroppers, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, man, like the coffee's worth it. I love it. Good coffee. And I go up in there, and I go in there. I pull up in the parking lot, and I'm like, man, there's a lot of people here. I hope I don't know anybody. I go in there. Give me a hazelnut macchiato. I'm over here. I got.
Dang, this is a Sneed, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's a Sneed. I'm sitting
nah,
there
you
like,
ain't gonna get in there and not know nobody.
oh, I know it, and I'm just hoping nobody acknowledges it, man. I hope nobody
Dude.
acknowledges it, but I cannot be the only. I'm saying all this to say this, like I cannot be the only person that feels this way about it.
Yeah.
Like
no,
it's almost embarrassing that I like this.
yeah, you're on point. You're on
Yeah,
point.
there's no like, you know what I'm saying. And so yeah, even them, they'll come out, and they'll put it on the counter, hazelnut macchiato or hazelnut latte or whatever, and I'm like,
Looking around, man, who ordered that?
who ordered that?
Who ordered the
get
chick
it,
drinks
just,
around
yeah,
here?
just get it and walk off. I'm like, man. Like, God, oh man, my dad would be. He'd have
ordering the
something
white
to say
girl
about
special.
that. Yeah, I'm getting them white girl drinks. Yeah, man, you got anything like that?
See, I don't drink coffee or nothing
Yeah.
like that.
But do you do anything like kind of feminine?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What are you
would
talking about,
call
like?
Yeah.
So,
that
like-
you're just kind of like not really. I mean, maybe kind of embarrassed about low key. Not really
Well,
embarrassed, but just
I know what you're
like
talking
you
about.
don't really want people to.
I know what you're talking
You know
about.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
Honestly, it's probably like the chick drinks.
The
as
chick
much
drink,
as,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
it'd be
it's like it's honestly, it's funny because like everybody calls them chick drinks, but I'm to the point I don't care. Like if
Yeah.
it's a drink
They're
I like,
good. They're good.
I mean that's kind of all there is to it. Like,
Yeah.
if it's green apple, I mean, sign me up. Like,
Right,
you
yeah.
know, I'm not gonna sit here and like I mean because I'm real picky about stuff too. Like if it don't taste good to me, then I don't care for it. If it does, it does. Like
Yeah.
so, but yeah, most everybody look at that and they're like,
Yeah.
They
And
give the look.
It may be just
Turns the eyebrow up.
the southern thing. I don't know, but I mean it's like
Yeah.
the southern man thing. Like I said,
Yeah, you gotta be on
You
your
see the-
whiskey and you gotta be
yeah,
on
it's getting a
your,
little risky doing that, because you're just waiting on somebody to say something to you, just kind of
Yeah.
messing with you, just teasing on you, or whatnot, But I mean, because you've seen them TikToks and everything.
No.
Oh, you got soft hands, boy, or I work 80 hours a day or whatever, and it's like it kind of goes along the lines of that, just kind of being manly or whatnot, in the society of blue collar, I guess,
Oh yeah.
and so yeah, but yeah, the girl drinks, man, that's tough, dude.
Yeah,
That's
you know
tough,
some of them's
man.
good, dude.
God,
You know?
boom, that's
That's
tough,
like-
man.
Yeah.
That really goes against my manhood. I'm sitting here like, man, I ought not like this as much as I do.
But hey, if you do,
I
You
mean,
do.
golly, boom,
like I mean, honestly,
man.
you know,
It's crazy, man.
it's just what it is. You
Yeah.
know?
But
Shoot, call me a kid for liking them little Kool-Aid squeezers. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Them little things.
pack me a lunch on the job site, and I'll break out a Kool-Aid squeezy while everybody's
Hey, you know
drinking
what
a
I mean?
beer or something.
Them suckers, them things.
That's funny.
I have thought about legit as a 24-year-old show up
Yeah,
to
yeah,
work
maybe that's it. You know, like I'm
and
sitting here
bring
like,
the.
man, you know, I'm 23 years old. I need to be, you know, I'm starting. Well, I'm not starting. I mean, I'm a man now. I need to quit. I need to quit drinking. I need to start drinking black coffee, something like that. You know.
Drink something with some chest hair in it.
Yeah, something to make you gas some chest hair. You know. And I go get them lattes though. Them lattes, man.
It's all about them iced lattes,
I'm
macchiato,
borderline. Yeah,
whatever.
I'm borderline embarrassed. That I even like.
You're gonna be
that.
one of these baristas that freaking know all the different drinks and stuff before it's over with.
Yeah, really, truly though.
Get you vitamin water for lunch. And
But it's bad too though, because I mean, it all starts when you date a white girl.
yeah,
They're the ones that introduce you to
they
it.
get you on it.
Yeah, you date a white girl and it's like they got their drink. They come over and see you. What are you drinking? Then you try it and you're like, oh my god, what is in that? You know, that is amazing. And then it just goes downhill from there. After y'all break up, you're still drinking it.
You signed yourself for that one.
Yeah, you messed yourself up. Oh man.
Dang.
Oh gosh. But yeah, you got that cast on there. So is that hard?
No, this ain't a hard cast.
Ain't a hard cast.
This is a splint right now. I mean, the way they talk and stuff, if you was to put a cast on it like right after and stuff, your foot would legit
Yeah, because it's
explode.
still
It'd
gonna,
kill you.
it's still gonna, yeah,
Yeah.
because it'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll, but it's kind of a harder splint though. ain't
Oh
it?
yeah,
but
it
it's
seems
still
pretty tough.
it gives your foot some room to swell up though. That's kind of
Yeah.
the main thing why you can't get a legitimate cast put on.
Yeah, it's honestly this is a much nicer splint than what I was having to deal with before. I was like waiting on surgery and stuff. I was having to legit like do all this cleaning stuff like salt water and all this stuff at night and everything and rewrapping it and everything every night before surgery. So it's kind of nice now having like a legit well done splint now that's just kind of done until they check me out again and see what they got to do next. But
Okay.
but 12 weeks from now I'll be just springing along, I guess. Let's hope.
God,
They said that I might actually have like nerve damage and stuff like that by the end of it. So I don't know how like my balancing and stuff will be. But the way they taught was like physical therapy. They're gonna teach you muscles you didn't even know you had in your foot.
That'll be good for you. Heck, maybe a little bit of everybody needs to know a little bit about
Probably
that.
use
know,
it,
could
yeah.
Use it. Shoot, man, if you ever get that hard cast on you or take a picture of it and put it on Tinder,
Yeah, there you
man,
go.
they'll be crawling
Lining
up
up.
with
Is
Sharpies.
that what it is? Yeah.
They'll be in line with Sharpies
Hey,
waiting to sign it.
Here come to sign my
Oh, yeah.
cast.
Oh yeah, give me that signature. Draw
yeah.
that Hancock on there.
Yeah.
Man, I got to bring this up too. So, Lindsay, one of my good friends, she, she lives on our last podcast. You know, for whoever's seen that, we talked about that bridge behind us that fell.
Yeah.
So, I was confused exactly what year it fell because I thought tornadoes had taken it down. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Tornadoes didn't take it down. She had corrected me on it.
Oh shoot.
It was floods. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was really bad flooding down there, and the river got really high, and it took the bridge down because of how bad the flood got. Yeah. So that is why.
It was low when we were out there.
It was really low when we was out there, but like the flood, she said the flood got up so high it was taking trees down, and then it would have momentum, and it'd be wiping out bridges and stuff.
Oh,
So
no.
yeah, it was some of that North Carolina flood. Seriously though, down here.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Dang.
But yeah, that was why I couldn't remember what year, because I was like, 2012 is when the tornadoes come through, but I remember walking across that bridge after that, so I couldn't really remember exactly what happened, but it was the floods of like 2018.
Oh, really? So it's
Yeah.
semi-recent then.
Yeah. And I don't really know if it was 2018, but that sounds good.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with
Sounds like
that.
it's in the pocket.
Sounds like it's somewhere, maybe 17, but I think it might have been 18. We're gonna go with that. Yeah. So whoever watched our last video and seen that, corrected myself. It was floods took that bridge down.
That's
So,
crazy. I
yeah.
bet it. I bet it like, I guess just sawed it in half. Then
Well,
it kind of
see,
swung it away.
it was cool though because I remember that next summer, they didn't let people kayak down it because you couldn't get across that bridge safely. So
Oh,
right, but me knowing them as well as I do, they just was like, hey, just you can go if you want to, but just be aware that you're probably gonna have to pick the kayak up, pick it up over all the shrapnel and whatnot in the water of the bridge, because it was all tangled up in the water and it was just.
yeah.
And so we did. It was like me and like 5 other people. We went down it, and we had to pick the boats up. And once we got to that part and walk them across the bridge, and then put them back in the water and got back in it. But it was neat seeing all that, even just down, But it was pretty neat. So when's the last time you washed your foot?
Last time,
Yeah.
it was probably like, I don't know, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, probably.
What about before that?
Legit. I mean, it would have been like every day before that, because like I had to wash it every night. Yeah.
Okay,
for
I got
the
you.
surgery and all that.
So you're not gonna wash that again?
Dude, it wasn't pretty and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even put the pictures up of the fracture blisters and like before and after that.
So you're not gonna wash that before, like you're not gonna wash that again until you get.
Yeah, I mean I can't. They told me I can't take this splint off
That's
or
about to
whatever
stink.
until. Yeah, it's about to be.
It's
Yeah,
gonna stink.
about to be real good.
Yeah,
Ain't
it's
it?
gonna stink, dude.
Yeah,
That's
I'd have some cheese out of this one.
So you already got some growing in between your toes. I
Got
don't
some
know if you realize
toesies.
that. You
No,
got some cheese in your toes.
heck no,
That's disgusting.
nasty.
uh,
No, it
can
feels
you,
like a slab of meat in there is what it feels like.
Can you wiggle your big toe? Okay, so I can see it moving.
Yeah, I got enough nerve. That's the good thing is like I guess I got enough nerve endings that I can move my toes and stuff.
What about your third toe?
I just have to move them all at once.
Oh, I was about to say if you could do that like by itself, that'd be pretty cool. I can't. Do
Oh
that
yeah, I
either.
can't do that.
I don't think
That's a
anybody can do
talent.
that.
Yeah.
That's a
Dude,
talent.
I wonder if I've had a physical therapy, they're gonna train me how to
Move.
do that, like
Yeah.
move individual toes or
Yeah,
whatever.
move individual
That'd
toes
be
like you can
wild.
your fingers, man.
Yeah. Out there and like pick up forks and spoons with my freaking toes or whatnot. They're gonna have me playing guitar with my freaking toes.
People do it. It's crazy that sounds.
That is crazy.
People
that
do all that kind of stuff. It's crazy it sounds.
That's insane. I think stuff like this, when stuff like this either happens to you or like people that legit have lost limbs and stuff, like those other limbs get real freaking good at
Yeah.
doing stuff. Like people that have no legs and all that, their upper body and like their
Well,
arms get.
people talk about
really good.
your 3 senses. You got taste, smell,
Yeah.
and hear.
Well, yeah,
No,
maybe
no,
more than
no,
that,
no,
but
no,
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, it's more than that. But like,
But I know what you're getting
your
at. Like,
taste, smell, hear, and eyes.
like blind
eyesight
people
and
can hear
blind
really good. They
people
play music
can
real
hear
good.
so good.
Yeah.
And people that can't hear can see
See, really
so
well.
good.
Yeah.
And people that can't talk,
They can
just
listen
can't
really
talk.
good.
they can listen.
Listen real
they can
good.
listen real good. People that can't talk. I wonder why that
Hey,
is.
I don't know.
Probably
I just
because they can't talk.
they got to overpower somewhere. They got to have one stat in there. You know, like
Yeah,
you know.
that's crazy. I didn't ever think about that. People that can't talk, I guess they really can listen good.
They listen
I guess
really
that's really
good.
the only thing they can do.
And people like that can write.
If you had to go without one sense, what would
One
it be?
sense.
If you had to go without one of the, you had to pick to lose your hearing, your smell. No, not your smell. That's too easy.
Taste.
You had no, not taste. either.
You like can't be the easy ones.
You can't be the easy one. It's either you either got to pick between hearing, seeing,
Touch
or talking.
or talking.
Yeah, like you're either a mute or you can't hear or you can't see. Which one are you picking
I would
to
at
go
least.
without?
I would at least say a mute, just because as a mute you can still hear and see. So like,
But wouldn't that piss you off that you want to
mean,
say
yeah.
something?
yeah, but you just really get good at writing. is what you would literally write things down, and you'd probably get really freaking good at
Oh,
it.
I would never
But
survive,
you would,
man. I'm a dyslexic.
but hey, well, that's the thing though. But you would get good at it though, like because
I'm pretty good at being dyslexic right now. I'm not gonna lie.
some thing is though is like your body would adapt. I think our bodies are known to adapt to just stuff thrown at us and stuff. If you keep pushing,
Yeah.
it's all kind of gets in your mentality and stuff too. If you have one of these, wimpy attitudes about it and stuff,
I guess
then you won't. But
I guess talking would be. You want to be able to hear, but if you can't
dude.
hear, then you can't talk because you don't know what words are.
I'd still
You know?
want to be able to hear and hear. Well, the thing is,
You know
I
what I
think
mean?
a lot of times mutes and stuff like that, though they can hear and understand words and stuff like that, but they literally just something.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
can't
yeah.
Talk.
Yeah, but if they can't hear, then they don't know what language and like how to understand to talk. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it would be
mute?
harder. No, I'm talking about hearing.
Oh, hearing.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, if you
were
couldn't
deaf.
hear, yeah, if you was deaf, that's what it is. I couldn't remember what it was called. If you was
Oh.
deaf, you couldn't, you wouldn't know what to even say if you could talk, you know? But if you couldn't talk, you would at least be hearing stuff, and then, like, it would just be a tease because, you'd be in the middle
You'd be
of
in a forever tease.
yeah,
is
you'd
what
be in
you're
a
getting
forever
at.
tease though, so that would suck. You'd be in a conversation with someone and be like,
And you can't speak up or say nothing.
and
See,
that
I
just
don't
be
know.
it. You really might be smart and you want to say something, but you just can't do it. You cannot get
I
it
don't know.
out. That would make me really mad.
I just think you'd want to adapt, and like a lot of things, they make stuff for people like that. I think really easy too. That like they can think it in their mind and it'll say it.
Oh,
I think they make stuff like
who was
that.
that
now.
guy that was like that in the wheelchair?
Stephen Hawking or whatever.
Tony Hawk.
No, yeah, Tony, yeah, it was him.
Tony Hawk should have been as many
Confirmed.
times he's wrecked on that skateboard.
Yeah.
He should have been in one of them things. He lucky.
You could be like Stephen Hawking though, just
Stephen
wheel around
Hawking.
and freaking yeah,
Yeah,
talk
I feel
talk
like
to
you'd be able to
that
adapt. And like,
synthesizer.
what if you? What if
I
you could
think he
talk through
actually
your-
through his eyes though controlled a keyboard and then talked though, and that's how he did it. I don't know. There's just some wild and completely different ways of solving that problem, but it's like a solvable problem versus if you're just deaf or you can't see and stuff like that.
Who was the lady that was deaf, couldn't talk, and Hillary Clinton?
That was her. No,
That
I'm kidding.
was
No, Helen Keller.
Helen Keller.
Yeah.
I knew it was close. No,
Yeah.
I knew it was
like one of
Hillary
the
Clinton.
main like famous people
She-
from Alabama.
Oh, she was from Alabama too.
Yeah, she's from Tuscumbia, Alabama. That's where that's like
Tuscumbia.
the big story on her. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she got famous for not being able to do nothing. That's pretty wild. That's impressive,
Pretty
honestly.
crazy. Wrote
It's
books and
impressive.
everything.
Now everybody just don't do nothing, and they're not famous for it.
But some people say she's not real, so I mean, what do we really know? Have you seen all that?
What?
That's like a whole
There's
thing.
pictures of her though.
There's people.
I think she's more
You
real
might not
than-
want to get down that little rabbit hole. I'm gonna tell you something. What I've noticed is this: the women too that like really cling on to that conspiracy theory. Of all of them,
Oh, they're
women our
jealous.
age are all about the whole like Helen Keller isn't real deal. Like they love that one.
They're jealous,
I don't
I
even
guess.
know. I don't even know. I think I've actually been to her the home place one time and went and visited and everything, and they got like the Braille out and all that. Braille books and
I bet they're jealous because all the guys like her. More
Probably-
because,
probably
you know,
so.
she don't talk. She
I mean,
can't
yeah.
talk back. And, you know what I'm saying?
you know,
Might be on to something.
they talk like this right here, fingers in her hand. You know, I was like, oh,
Might be on to something. man.
so
Might be on to something.
I mean,
Just saying.
oh man,
I believe she's more real than aliens are.
then aliens are.
Yeah. I can say that because I've never met her, but I can
Yeah,
say
I
I
guess-
think she's more real than aliens are,
I guess so. I don't know. They keep coming up with stuff they say
or Bigfoot.
or Bigfoot.
I feel like she's more real than Bigfoot is.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I don't know that this you know what's funny? There's like a lot of Bigfoot sightings around here. Like there's a
Bigfoot
lot.
ain't real, dude.
There's a lot of people that say they've seen him around here and stuff.
Bigfoot is not real, man.
What do you think of the people that say there's no way there's mountain lions around here?
No, there is mountain lions.
dude, that's like a huge like debated topic around here
I
in
don't know
Alabama.
about
Is like
around here though.
they're like, oh no, they, you know, like I think officially the government doesn't recognize that there's mountain
Well,
lions, but people have seen them,
the
and
thing
they're like,
is,
yeah,
all
they're
right,
around here.
a mountain lion versus a Bigfoot right here. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you'll catch a mountain lion on a game camera every once in a
But you
while.
can catch no
You're
Bigfoot.
not gonna catch a Bigfoot on a game camera. It's not real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But you eventually you will catch a mountain lion on camera if he's around in that area. You know.
I'm gonna be honest. I keep an open mind when it comes to animals, and I tell you the reason why.
Would you
It's
say
because
Bigfoot's an animal?
I just say that in general, I don't think we know all of what living organisms are out there. And a big case in point of that is like, okay, the deep sea stuff, they say we don't even know but like a percentage of the amount of uh, sea creatures that are out in the ocean and stuff like that. Because the ocean is so big, we don't even know what all's out in it. I and I think too that like all this stuff like with species and all that kind of stuff. I don't know that we've got as much a beat on it as we think we do. I just don't think we know everything as far as animals
I think
really
it's
go.
pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool how a whale is a mammal.
How? Yeah. I mean,
That's pretty cool.
yeah. Like it's kind of crazy. There's just a lot of stuff we don't know. We've tried to classify things and understand stuff, but people see stuff, and I'm sure some things are way more rare than others. So we just don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, and like every once in a while, you'll come across somebody that's like, "Wow, this is a new species of something or whatnot." That's pretty neat. You know, that's pretty cool. But like, uh, I don't know, like a megalodon. I feel like a megalodon.
Think there's a megalodon out there?
I think that megalodon. I think there's a higher percentage of megalodon being real versus Bigfoot.
Because they found bones of a
No,
megalodon and
no,
all that.
because like megalodon can hide better than a Bigfoot can. Like
Oh, you think so?
on land, people go everywhere.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. You know, people are overpopulated.
Yeah.
The world on land, and they don't make more land. You know, so we're either gonna have to start living in the ocean or going up to the moon and living or something because we're getting too crowded here. Like I don't even know if I want to have kids because it's just
Nah,
too
I
many
wouldn't believe
people.
all that. I wouldn't
No,
believe that.
but I was messing around. But what I was getting at was you know, somebody would see a Bigfoot. There's no way getting around that. There's too many hunters around here. They're in the woods constantly.
You'd think somebody here would shoot one.
Yeah,
One
but somebody
on the wall.
would. That's what I'm saying. There's no way it's real. But like a megalodon, we can't even go to some parts of the ocean yet because we don't have the technology to get down there. You know, that's what's crazy. Like how and like the amount of area that we've never traveled.
It's harder to get there. It's harder to even have a chance of seeing it.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, I don't doubt that he could definitely be real. I don't think he's hanging out in Gulf Shores though.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that ain't cool. But like, you know, I'm not saying that he ain't. I'm saying that there's a bigger percentage of him being real, for sure. Something like that.
I don't know. I just, like I said, I try to keep an open mind. Comes to, especially when it's stuff like that I don't know anything about. Like I don't know anything about biology and medical and all this kind of stuff. I just keep an open mind with all that because I'm like, you know, hey, you show me the evidence, you know, kind of thing.
I think it's neat. Yeah, I'm not going. I mean, if you had,
I think it's pretty interesting.
If you had a Bigfoot laying down in front of me, I'd be like, that's a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
You know, I would believe.
Yeah,
it,
I mean, I got a big foot, so I mean.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Bigfoot.
So now
you say about big feet.
We've been talking about one this whole time. Yeah.
You're talking about big feet, don't you?
Yeah.
Big socks.
That's right.